Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Not Hoarder. This is Tom, and this is my first video of 2026. So happy New Year to everybody. I wanted to start the new year off with a non-sports video, and you can kind of get a little bit of a foreshadowing of a few of the items that we're going to be looking at just from the background that I have set up there. On the left and on the right, those are a little bit oversized trade cards from the 19th century for a Clark's spool cotton. On the left there, you have the Statue of Liberty with some naval ships in the New York Harbor and dated 1892 there at the bottom. And then you have the Santa Maria there on the right, dated 1492. So I just thought those were great images. I do have a handful of trade cards from the 1800s that have representations of the Statue of Liberty on them. And then in the middle there, that is a 1917 chromogravure of Charlie Chaplin. I have a few Chaplin items that I'm wanting to share today, so I just thought that'd be a cool background to have there for it. But I want to get started, and the first one I'm going to share, this is an 1883 trade card for a Singer sewing machine. So just a beautiful image of the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty cards have really taken off in the non-sports world. This is a great card overall. Nice back to it, nice advertisement. It's very similar to a rather popular Statue of Liberty card, which is the 1883 Pratt's. So it's very similar to this. You can see a different kind of nighttime scene with the moon in the background there. But these have become very popular. And that Singer one is just, I guess, a different variation, a colored variation of it. And this is also another variation. This is Pratt's Gasoline. So it looks very similar to the Astral Oil. You can see it says it here at the top, and the Pratt's Gasoline there above the Statue of Liberty in this one. But the new one that I had gotten was the Singer sewing machine one. I just wanted to share the comparison of those. Another trade card for the Statue of Liberty is this New Easy Lawnmower. Just a great shot of the people here in the foreground and the Statue of Liberty there in the background. This is a slightly oversized one as well, about the same size as the last two that I just shared. But this is just a really nice copy. Once again, the back with the advertisement for the lawnmower. Another newer one that I had gotten was this Nichols Bark and Iron for the Bartholdi statue. So it wasn't referred to as the Statue of Liberty on this, but it was the Bartholdi statue. So just a great card, great image. I have a lot of fun finding the Statue of Liberty trade card. You can kind of hunt those down. Sometimes you can find a pretty good deal on these things. Other times they can get pretty pricey. This is another kind of tougher one to find a lot of copies of. But just a pretty image. This is a little smaller card, but it's for automatic engines. So cool advertisement there on the back. Just a really nice card. I always love seeing the boats and stuff like that in the harbor on these cards. This one is for Merrick Thread. So just another Statue of Liberty type card. But this is a very nice copy as well. Very cool advertisement. And then the last one, kind of along those lines, is this one. This one was really recent pickup for me, but just the color on this thing. This is for John Hancock Insurance. It says United States of America down there at the bottom. But the color on this thing just stands out incredible. The back, does have some issues to it, but this is a tough card to find a lot of too. And You can see the newest date on this one shows 1892. So I'd say this is roughly, early 1890s. 92, 93 was when this card was released. But just beautiful. Just vibrant, deep blues and reds. Just overall amazing. Next is this 1909 Wolfing Company. This is the drafting of the Declaration of Independence. You have Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Ben Franklin in this picture. So this is a very popular card. It's gained a lot of traction over the last couple of years. But the back is just a write-up talking about the Declaration of Independence and when it was written, and this actually takes place in a place that Thomas Jefferson lived. It was the Graff House, I believe. And back in the window there, you can kind of see a silhouette of the State Building, which is actually where the Declaration of Independence was signed. But this is just a great card. And one to kind of pair with it is this one for McLaughlin Coffee. This is from 1892. And this is the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So this would be taking place in that State Building I just referenced. But this is just a fantastic card. Great image of Jefferson up there in the corner. And just beautiful advertisement here on the back. I'm a big fan of the advertisements. And this is just a great depiction. And I believe this is a painting from the early 1800s that this was taken from for this image. But, you got, once again, Jefferson and Adams and Franklin and all the other founding fathers that signed the Declaration of Independence here. Next, I have this, this is at 1890's. This is at H600. This is a trade card, essentially, so uncut. Typically, you see these just with single presidents on them, but this is a uncut version that they used for the Blasius piano. And you got Grover Cleveland and Benjamin Harrison on here. And on the back is the advertisement for the Blasius piano. And you can see that it does reference 1892 here. So this is a early 1890s trade card. But I guess what's kind of interesting is President Harrison, his father would have been the 9th president of the United States, which was William Harrison. And then, so I believe it was his great-grandfather was also Benjamin Harrison, but he was the 5th, and he was a founding father. So he would have been one of the ones that signed the Declaration of Independence. So, he would have been somewhere in this photo. So a cool relation to this card here, having these paired together. So just kind of going back in history and learning the ties of all the presidents and the founding fathers. History's just super cool. A lot of the baseball guys love the history of baseball, but once you get into non-sports stuff, I mean, you tie everything together with non-sports. But let's see. Next, I have this. This is at 1890. This is at N37 of the Osprey. This is from the Allen and Ginter set. And I've shared the Birds of America set before, which were the N30, or no, I'm sorry, not N37, N4s. And the N4s were the smaller cards, so I brought that copy out so you could see it. But this was my N4 copy, so this was probably my favorite card from that set. So I wanted to get the larger version, which is the N37s. And you can see that card that's in the middle. You can just kind of lay these over top of each other and it matches up identically on there. So this is literally the same size card within this larger card, but these are a little bit more difficult to get. They're out there, you can find them, but grading wise, there have been far fewer of these graded, these N37s, the larger ones. I think I looked up on PSA, like altogether, this is a 50 card set. And I think PSA has graded possibly right around 200 total from this 50 card set. And with the smaller ones, the N37s, PSA is graded approximately 900 out of this 50 card set. So definitely fewer of these out there than these, but I love having these paired together. So fantastic images, colors, beautiful cards. Allen and Ginter cards from the 1800s are fantastic. Let's see, next, I had purchased a lot of Ogden's Guinea Golds. These are 1901 cards, and the lot was, I think, roughly 20 cards, and there was a small stack that I really wanted out of the lot. And I think there's, what, 6 or 7 here. And there's some composers. We had Mozart, Beethoven, we had some writers, Tolstoy, Dickens, Kipling, Longfellow, and Shakespeare. So these are actually some more prominent figures out of this 1901 set. And altogether, after shipping and fees and everything for that 20 card lot that I bought, I think I got it for like 45 bucks for all 20 cards. And these are definitely some key cards that people usually go after. So I was happy to add those to my PC. I have quite a few Ogden's cards, and so I like to add them when I can find them for reasonable prices. But let's see. Next, oh, these are cool. So let's get into a few Chaplin cards. I know people probably get sick of seeing the Chaplin that I share. It's just one of my favorite film stars to collect. And I typically go like pre-1920. I know I've mentioned that before, but these are early silks of Charlie Chaplin. And these are from 1914. So 1914 is very early stuff for Charlie Chaplin. And get that to focus a little bit better. There we go. So these are 1914 Tiemann's silks. And he has 3 cards in this set. I've had one of them for a few years now, which was this one. And I had been waiting a very long time for these to come up. And I got these from the same seller. They were both in auction. I won both the auctions on them, but very happy to complete the trio from this silk set of film stars. But yeah, that was very cool. Oh, I didn't even show the back, which kind of irrelevant, but there's just blank on the back. You can see the image through them. But these are tough ones to get. I think overall SGC, between the 3 of these, I think has only graded a total of 4 cards. So each of, let's see, I think this one and this one may have been, no, it's this one and this one were graded 1 time each. This one's been graded twice. So super tough to get. And anytime I can get early Chaplin, I definitely pick them up. I love getting anything. And 1914 is some of the earliest stuff you can get. 1915 is kind of typical, where you can start to see a little bit more Chaplin. And speaking of 1915, I picked this up. This is something that I'd been looking for a very long time as well. This is a BF2 felt pennant. So just like the baseball players that you see for the Ferguson Bakery, you can also get film stars on these as well. So I'm not sure if anybody's really familiar with that, but these Chaplin ones are tough to find. They do come up, but there are different variations of them, so you can get different color stitching and different images. There was an advertisement, so there's a website called moviecard.com, and you can reference a lot of stuff from that website. The guy that runs it, very helpful, very knowledgeable, and he uses a lot of different people to kind of help source his information. But they have a ton of information on these felts, and there's a part in there that kind of explains that in the fall of 1915, there was an advertisement in I think it was Los Angeles magazine or something like that, that showed these felts being advertised. So they're kind of dating these to 1915. And so it kind of makes sense because Chaplin was with SNA Film Company in 1915. So just a great piece that I was happy to add. I'd looked for one for a very long time and finally came across one. This was also an auction on eBay. But very happy to add that. And let's see. I also had picked up a handful of theater cards for Chaplin. I'm a big fan of finding theater promos for Charlie Chaplin stuff. This is actually a Kraus postcard of Charlie Chaplin, and you can see on the side here that it was stamped for, which is kind of hard to read because it fades a little, but it's for the Gem Theater on Wednesday. And so it doesn't give a date or anything on there, but it has been stated that these particular postcards, which I got my little note on there, these were done by the Kraus Manufacturing Company, and these were released in 1915 approximately. So that was a cool one to find. Another one that I got, this is another theater postcard. This is another Chaplin one, and Chaplin was with Mutual Film Company, which that's what this little star is up here. It says Mutual Chaplin. So he was a Mutual film star in 1916-ish, and I think 1916 and possibly 17. But on the back, this one references Southern Theater, Monday and Tuesday, June 26th and 27th. So whenever you can give me a date, or at least days of a month, it makes it a little bit easier to pinpoint what year this would be. So this is actually a 1916 postcard with those post stamps on it. Or not post stamps, the date stamps. And so that correlates with whenever he was with Mutual. So that all kind of checks out for me. So 1916 for that postcard. Let's see, another one was this one here. This is a movie theater promo, and you can see that it resembles that card that I have there in the background of the same image. This is just much larger, and that one is actually a blank back card, but this one has a theater promo on it, and once again it gives a date there of Sunday, October 14th. So Sunday, October 14th happened in 1917. So that chromogravure card is actually a 1917 card, and so is this theater card. So I would assume that these theater promo cards were produced in the same year, and this stamping on the back for this theater, also 1917. But I do have one more, and that is this one here. So it is the same card, but a different theater promo on the back. The downfall with this one is that it doesn't give a date on it per se, but it does give a whole bunch of movies here. And so you can check the release dates of these movies, and I'm actually putting this one at 1918 of when this one was actually stamped. So the card may have been produced in 1917, but this stamp was used in 1918. And the only reason why I believe that is because of these movies that were released. This one references Charlie Chaplin and the Police, which this one came out in 1916. But all these other movies that are listed on here were released in 1918. So that's going to give me the date of 1918. So it just takes a little bit of digging. That's the thing that I'm a huge fan of, is trying to research some of these things to kind of find definitive dates for them, because sometimes it can be really tough to find. But I always love finding the Chaplin theater promos. One more Chaplin piece, and I don't have a specific date on this. I've even asked around to find a specific date, but I typically find late 1920s to like maybe early 1930s. But this is just a die cut that I picked up from, it was the Vintage Non-Sports auction. And I just gotten this recently, and I won this for a fantastic price. I think I was probably the only one that bid on it, so go figure, I'm the only one out there collecting some of this Chaplin stuff. But I've seen these go for huge prices, or at least listed for huge prices, I should say. Listed for big prices online, and I was happy to pick this one up. I think I got it for right around $40. So super happy to add that. It's in a year range that I typically don't collect, but I have a ton of die cuts for other other sets that I collect, and I figured why not have a Chaplin one if I collect a ton of Chaplin. Just snag a die cut. And then the last card that I have, just so we don't get too long, because I see we're at 20 minutes already. This is a 1935 German card of Count Orlok. So I'm getting a lot of reflection on there. See if we can find a better route. So I'm huge into movies, and this is a great non-sports card to add. Count Orlok, if you're not familiar, was from the movie Nosferatu, which was the very first vampire film that was made back in the early 1920s. And it was great to come across this card. Got my sticky note on there for reference, but it's all in German on the back. These were glued into albums, so you get a lot of residue on these, and it's very hard to get these in high grade. There is a little bit of paper loss here on the front. You can kind of see right here by my thumb and across that same area in the middle. But overall, very cool picture. I love the black and white. And this is a very, very thin card. And when you take it, or whenever you get it from the album that it comes in, there's actually another card that's opposite of this card on the other page. And a crease, you'll find a crease that kind of runs across this card. And that's pretty standard for it. So it's going to be very difficult to get these in high grades. But overall, I was super happy to at least add one copy of this. I'd like to get another, but just a very, very cool picture of Count Orlok. Very kind of creepy looking, but really enjoy that. So that was all I had. I just wanted to do a quick video of some of my non-sports pickups recently. And once again, I appreciate you guys watching, and please leave comments down below if you'd like. And don't forget, there's a fine line between a collector and a hoarder. Which one are you?